So guys, death metal's getting crazy. First of all, we're already super behind. Like, I've just finally got through issue 3, and there's like 4 other issues, 4 of the tie-in stories that we have to clear. So we're going to talk about issue 3 here, and then the next video we'll do for this will be about those tie-ins, because it's actually kind of crazy what's been going on here. Actually, we'll have to talk about some of it here as well. So, issue 3 starts off with, well, we've arrived on Apocalypse, alright? And the forces of evil Batman have shown up. We've got like a Batman, if he was a member, the leader of the Red Lantern Corps, Batrocidus. We've got a version of him that is clearly Brainiac, called the Collector. And all they found out as well, this Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman ship thing crashed. Must be some morons here. Oh, here's Jonah Hex, looking all zombified, but alright, whatever. So, remember, they're here to save Superman and hopefully the other superheroes. So, what's going on with Superman? Well, he's kind of being tortured by Darkfather. Now, remember, Darkfather is a version of Batman that has acquired the powers of Darkseid. And from what I've heard, a lot of fans are weirded out by this concept. But to me, the entire concept of the dark, evil Batman is kind of absurd anyway. That's what makes it fun. Don't think too much about it. Batman has acquired the powers of Darkseid. Remember, New 52, all he did there was he whispered into the ears of the gods and just absorbed their powers when they went to fight. That was kind of it. So Superman's getting tortured with kryptonite from pretty much all across the multiverse. So there's probably one that just sort of tickles, one that makes him feel really good, and a bunch of others that make him feel really, really bad. Also, remember the pink kryptonite that turns him gay, because that was the thing. But it doesn't really quite matter, because the cavalry's here, Batman with his trench coat and Black Lantern ring, Harley Quinn with her giant cheetah and her Swamp Thing hammer mace, and Wonder Woman, of course, with her chainsaw of truth. They're all here to help. And so they engage, and there's a little back and forth with Darkfather. I think a lot of the evil Batman want to talk to this Batman. I think it just sort of makes sense. It was a weird thing in Dark Knight's Metal that only the Batman who laughs had a clash with Batman. Like, if you want to tell a really great, weird Bruce understanding who he is, he should talk to every Dark Knight, as many Dark Knights as possible. So anyway, this is the second controversial moment, and this is actually a mistake. So Darkfather pulls out his gun! And actually, this is a very important gun. According to Darkfather, this gun, it's a better version of the gun Darkseid himself used to send him back in time during the last crisis. So the problem with this is, in the events of Final Crisis, it was Batman with the gun that shot Darkseid with it. That was it. It was Darkseid's Omega beams that sent Batman to the past. That was it. But anyway, Darkfather, being Batman and Darkseid, he's tuned it to his life force. It won't just send him back, it'll erase him from history. Beings pulled from the dark will remain unaffected, but your friends, your people, yeah, they won't even know he existed. Bruce just doesn't seem to care. Like, go ahead, you ain't nobody. So he gets shot, and look at that. And then he goes to... And Superman gets hit, and Superman's fine because of Batman's Black Lantern ring. It controls dead matter, so he just stopped the dead cells from changing. And then he uppercuts Darkfather, and that's done. We free everybody. Batman is surprisingly fine, but he seems a bit jumpy. And one even posed, like, how did you withstand the bullet? He says, like, bad blocker. He came prepared. And this is actually what gets interesting. Clark goes up to Bruce and he starts to say something, but Bruce goes, don't. And he says, does she know the truth about you? And Batman goes, no more than she does about you. And she doesn't need to know. And that's interesting, because we already know earlier that something's up with Bruce. Like, he seems kind of despondent. He seems kind of not willing to try. And Diana sort of pushed him to try. I wonder if actually these two might be dead. Like, somehow they've done something and they're on borrowed time. Who knows? Or maybe they totally wussed out and they're the real reason this failed. Who knows? Anyway, in the fifth dimension, Lobo is raising hell on someone's childhood memories. That's all there is to it. He's looking for something. We saw him do this earlier in issue 1, but we didn't really talk about it. We're just looking for something. Meanwhile, the Darkest Knight, a version of the Batman Who Laughs new form, is looking for Wally West. And everyone's freaking out. They all agree one thing. Well, we need to... What's that thing we do? The thing we're really good at. Make our lives worse? No. That's what all superheroes are good at. What are we specifically good at? Oh, running. There we go. So Jay Garrick, Barry, and Wally run through the dying Speed Force. It's great. Superman finds the rest of the heroes. They all look pretty well, considering they've been on Apocalypse. I guess Darkfather is a gracious host. I have to make a note of that. So they give these new chuckleheads, this whole new team, the rundown. So right now, Perpetua is drawing her energy from Crisis Worlds in the Dark Multiverse. The energy is transmitted up from the dark and out to the human antennas around the multiverse, where it is amplified and sent to Perpetua herself. What we need to do is redirect that energy to one of our own, someone who has the power to kill Perpetua and then help us recreate the multiverse as it should be. That someone's going to be Wally. So Jon Stewart will lead the Lanterns, take down her antennas, and the remaining Earths. Martian Manhunter will go after the throne. The Flashes will keep Wally safe. No one tell her. Meanwhile, the team, the important team, the Trinity, will sneak into the dark multiverse through the portal beneath Castle Bat and redirect the crisis energy to Wally. So how do they plan to do that? Well, they have to use the greatest hero they have. A being of unimaginable power and resolve. Someone who could totally save the day. The most important hero who's been here since Justice League No Justice. That's right, Jarro. And who's Jarro going to listen to? His dad, Batman, which has still been the best relationship ever in DC Comics. So that's how that story ends. Then we cut to Lobo, who has found the final box. He now has all five. He's bringing them to this guy. And who's this guy? Lex Luthor. And those boxes contain death metal. Roll credits. And with them, he will change the story of the universe once and for all. He ain't looking too good. I'll tell you that much. So, Death Metal 3 is kind of fun. It actually really is. Outside of the little hiccup of the bullet thing, everything seems kind of cool. This was very much alright, we understand what our small group has to do. Now let's get the free lands of Middle-earth. Let's get to the real council, Council of Rivendell and whatnot. Say, guys, here's what we're going to do. You're all here. Let's go. And from what I've seen, bigger parts of the story are told in the tie-in. So I might do a separate video before we get to the next main part of the story to talk about those tie-ins. So anyway, what did you guys think about it? What do you think Bruce and Clark are hiding from Diana? Are you happy to see Jarro? All good people are happy to see Jarro. Don't be a bad person and hate Jarro. Jarro is life. And best Robin. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. I'll catch you all later. This is Think Tank signing off. Thanks for watching, and as always, may your fandom serve you well.